So, welcome to the part 2. If you haven't watched the part 1, please go watch the part 1. So, the day of testing comes and okay, what happened was I had to ask in the morning. So that was Friday morning. Finally, Friday came and I'm like, okay, let me go for the test with my boyfriend because I'm not going to go alone. I'm not going to go alone. And then I go there and then turns out the guy that the affiliate guy trusts to do the tests is not around. So that was 10 in the morning. So then the guy is like, okay, I'll come around 1. Wait for me. By 2 o'clock, I'll be there. 2 o'clock comes. My boyfriend leaves work. He comes to my office place waiting for the tests to be taken. 2, 3. So what I did was, okay, 2 o'clock, let's eat already and then make sure that we are nothing else is wrong. Let's just eat and be happy, eat, drink and be merry. And so we go to the eating place. It starts raining. I have an umbrella at least, so we both use the umbrella. We go to the eating place and that was such a bad day already, because where we were eating, we didn't know it wasn't nicely roofed, so literally everywhere there was rain. And then we get there, we sit down and there's rain all over. So then we're trying to find a corner, like moving our table to make sure that... So then we're already stressing about the test, and then this is happening at the eating place. So we finally find a little corner where it's not raining, and then literally just when they gave us the food, lightning struck the roof. And there was this loud thunder, and I'm just like, you know what, this is the day. Lord, forgive me for my sins. This is the day. This is the end. Lightning struck that place, and then they gave us the food, and then we ate. At least the rain was done at the end. So we finished at around 3 eating. Waited 3, 3:30, 4, 4:30. That's when I called the guy and he's like, I just got here, but let me eat first. So then he eats, and then he takes us upstairs. He tells us, oh, come, and then we fill some forms, blah, blah, blah. And then we have to help him carry, because we're the only ones being tested that day. So we go down, we help him carry the stuff, and then my boyfriend goes first because I'm like, if it looks painful on you, I'm not doing it. They're taking my blood if they have to, but I'm not doing it. And then they take swabs from our mouths and down, like gag area of our mouths, and then our noses also, you know. And then when they're taking his mouth swab, he like gags a little bit, so I'm like, that doesn't look painful. But the nose one, ooh, I just see his eyes start to tear, but then he's not complaining about any pain, but because there's tears coming out of my boyfriend's eyes, I almost fled. But then the guy testing is also my friend, so I'm like, okay, let me not embarrass myself here, let me not embarrass him. But I was still a little bit embarrassing, busy screaming and no. I wish I took a video, but I think it was just a stressful time. And then it comes to me, they do me. I didn't gag, it was just very uncomfortable. But the nose one, whoo, the nose swab, my God. Yeah, I cried. Okay, the first tears were like automatic, but then the next ones were like, guys, this is never happening to me again. Why did I even come to test? Anyways, and then we leave. I didn't even ask when the results were going to be ready. That was Friday evening. I didn't even ask. I just helped him carry the lift. When I was telling my friend on Friday, though, she told me about how, you know what, you really need to go get tested, because there's a lot of people even in this company that are positive, but a lot of like high principal investigator people, what. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it anyways. So there was that pressure coming from church, work, no one from family, but yeah. And then Saturday. So Saturday finishes, and then now it's like 6 p.m. and I'm like, where are the results? Because now I want to know if I'm going to church or not. Church was cancelled, and then I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. So there's nothing to worry about church-wise, but still, I want to know if I'm positive or not. And then I call the guy, he's not replying. I had to find another girl's number who works in the lab to call them, like, where are the results? They're like, sorry, yours were like the second batch, so they're gonna be out at night by 7. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. 7 is like in an hour, right? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now I can't even sleep. O'clock. It's just clocking, still clocking. Where are my results? So at this point, I'm stressed, and now I'm telling my boyfriend, but I can't even sleep. I'm not even sure where I'm going to quarantine. I don't even know. I don't want to live alone. Hey, Corona is stressful. What? I already live alone. I don't know what the difference is. Like, during the holiday, I'm alone. And I love being alone. Then he's like, no, you're going to be fine. What? Ish, such a good man. But yeah. And then I call the lady again. And then this time she's just like, she calls me. I call her. No, I text her and then she calls me. I'm like, this is the time. No, she called to just say hi, because we also go to the same church. She's like, why did you even text? So then I'm explaining everything and everyone to her. And then she's like, okay, it'll be done in like an hour. Then why did you call me to chat? And then around, I think I slept. And then around 11, I woke up and I'm like, lady, tell me my results, boy. And then she's like, 5 more minutes. And then she calls, and now she's just like, oh, okay, both of you came up positive. Okay, so this whole time I'm panicking, like waiting for my results. Now that they're here, it's like, can I not know? Can I not know? Because, okay, in my head, I'm thinking, yay, no work. Yay, stay at home. Yay, it's like another Christmas holiday. But at the same time, I'm thinking, first thing I'm thinking is my mother's reaction. Like, will she not come from where she lives to come pick me with my corona and take me home with her? So then it was 11 at night. The first person that I thought of calling was my brother. I didn't even tell my boyfriend yet because I wasn't sure about his reaction. I wanted to call my brother first so that I can ask him how I should tell mom. And then he wasn't answering because it was late at night. So I just texted one of my friends. I texted the other friends. No, pretty much everyone was asleep though. So I just texted the people that are awake, like the closest people to me. Texted my pastor. And yeah, because he was the one asking. I hadn't texted my boss yet. I texted him the next day. And then the next morning, first thing, I call my boyfriend and I tell him. And then he's just like, okay, let's talk about it later. And I'm just like, later. I don't know what that means. And then I call my mom. My mom literally was just there like, okay. The next phone call that I got, she was starting off from Zomba. Zomba is like a 45-minute drive when you're driving on your own, but like an hour drive if it's public transport. Started off, didn't even drive because she's like, in my head, I can't drive right now. Took public transport, came straight. Called my aunt who lives here in Blantyre. My aunt left home before my mom had left Zomba. Blantyre is the city that I live in. My aunt left home, waited for her by the stage where she should pick her up. And my mother left Zomba. My aunt waited for like an hour. They both came. They're both elderly. They're both older, which means it's more risky for them. But then they're just like, no, if we're taking corona, we're taking yours. We need to make sure you're fine. They came with ginger. They came with garlic. They came with onions. They came with tomato. They came with papaya. They came with everything. They came with the antibiotics. They came with, because I was given a list that I was supposed to take of antibiotics, vitamin C and things like that, the basics, zinc, what. They came with everything and more, with food, with fruits, with what. And then my mom is like, you need to leave with me right now. So I'm like, okay, just chill. Do you see how I'm feeling though? I didn't even have symptoms. Like that morning, that's when I woke up with like a blocked nose, like my sinuses were blocked, but everything else was fine. Then she's like, no, told my aunt to leave and go back to work. And then she's like, I'm gonna stay in this house until you use all these remedies that I brought. And then I started using the remedies, what, while she was right there making me stuff. But she tried to keep her distance, and she was like in a shield and a mask, and like, yeah. but still and then after some time though, I'm like, hey, but mom, I want to sleep. Then she's like, you know what, I actually see that you're fine, so I can go, but still. So now I'm calling my boyfriend and I'm like, how are you, what, and he's like, you know what, it's corona. I mean, it was inevitable. Our friends are positive, and I live alone, so there's no problem there. I just need to warn my cousin where he's coming from to also get tested. For me, my workplace had to know. We had to tell everybody, and then everyone is sending in their remedies, their solutions, their prayers. I think that's the point. It's come to a point where we had to be the ones telling them that it's gonna be okay, because for us it's just like, you know what, we're fine, we feel fine, we tested positive, but we feel fine. But especially for relatives that are far, it's like, I need to know that you are fine, I need to see that you are fine. So we've had a lot of video calls and what, but generally it's like a good chilling experience. It's like a good learning experience. Obviously it makes you cherish the gift of freedom more. I think what's stressful is it's mostly like reactions of people where they're like treating you like you are dying. It's like, are you okay, can you breathe? My boss is constantly texting, my friends are constantly texting and asking, and it's sweet, but it's just that I think for me personally, I'd rather have the ha, look at you have corona friends texting, rather than the ones that are like, you know, you're gonna be fine, right? Because I'm like, I am fine. I am fine, you know, it's not the end of the world, what. No, I think that's just how I deal with stressful situations. I don't want to think about them too much, and in this case I'm not even stressed about it, because to me it's just like, okay, I tested positive, but I'm fine. Once in a while it's just like nose blocked, a little bit of coughing, but no body pains whatsoever. And when that happens, I do the little remedies, the steaming, the what. But mostly it's like parents' concerns. And as the days go by though, I think they're getting better. The parents are getting better. They're fine. They've accepted the fact that she's not dying and stuff like that. She's fine, and less visiting, less calling, but still it's like, it's a very interesting experience. So yeah.